Remind me of your first and your last name.
So Ted Guerra, Tedguerra.
And your last name, was that your last name?
Uh-huh.
Okay, perfect. Title here.
I'm the president for the Jefferson Neighborhood Association.
How long have you been the president?
Off and on, let's just say about 20 years.
Nice, very nice, awesome. So construction back here, we see it all happening around this area.
Yes.
So the three council members put in a request to get a review data from the Public Works Department. Tell me how that looks from your point of view.
Well, I'm excited. I'm glad that it's happening, to be honest with you, because we've been fighting the city for quite a while now with projects being done, which we want projects to be done. We just want to make sure that they're being done right and they're being done within the scope of what, the neighborhoods need, right? There's a historic district, there's a neighborhood conservation district in our boundaries of our Jefferson Neighborhood Association, but yet those aren't being followed because the city's not talking to each other. They're not talking, the bonds, if there's bond, issues, they're not talking to Public Works. If Public Works is not talking to the city with, at the permit, department. So,
are these projects happening and finishing on time?
Well, I mean, we know that, the cost has gone up, with COVID and everything else going on. But, for the most part, they are. Unfortunately, we have to stop them because, they're not doing their homework per se. So, yeah, it is lasting a little longer.
What's part of their homework that they're not getting correct that we were talking about a little earlier?
So, like I said, for instance, talking to the historic district, talking to, the Office of Preservation, talking to the district, talking to us, the neighbors, the neighborhood association. Those are the things, starting projects, spending more money because then they have to redesign the project.
What are you hearing from the other neighbors in this community?
Well, as a matter of fact, that's, we, north of us is Monticello Park Neighborhood Association, which we work closely together, and they're having the same issues. So Kampmann, is a big project coming from Babcock all the way to Woodlawn, and half is in their boundaries and half is in my boundaries, and we're having, right now I just saw a sign, a no parking sign that I encountered, and I'm like, well, what is this? It's going to be for 2 days, yet we weren't told about it. I called, Bianca Maldonado, who is the president for the Monticello, and she wasn't aware of it either. So then I go and try to do my homework, find out that they're going to do a mill and overlay, and we weren't told about it.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal, absolutely.
And you got to be the voice for the community to let them know what's going on, and you don't even know.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And, I hate not knowing, right? Because they depend on me. They elected me to be, the voice and to tell them what's going on communication-wise. And I don't know. I look stupid at the end of the day.
How is this affecting the community members? I mean, what I'm hearing is it sounds like a lack of communication from the city and the Public Works.
Very much so. That's exactly what it is. And I'm just not sure why, when it's all under the same umbrella of the city. They have each other to talk to. It's not two different entities. It's one entity, two different departments, but they do need to collaborate. They do need to, get on the same page with things.
What is your hope by the end of this review? I know it could take a little while to get all that data and stuff like that, but it's a good step forward. What are you hoping comes out of this?
Well, you don't ever want anybody to be in trouble, right? You don't want an investigation to go on, especially within the city council, and the city. But we do elect, the city officials to do this for us, to be our voice at City Hall. So. With that being said, I hope that the investigation goes well. I hope that the investigation is positive as far as, okay, what did we do wrong? How can we make it right? Obviously, we know things are wrong and things aren't being done correctly. But how can we do it? How can we, work together, having the city work together with the, other departments?
And how long has this miscommunication been going on?
Oh my gosh, So what happens is we're the constant here, right? Yet there's different project managers, people at the city come and go, so they're not, we tell one set of people and then they get, go somewhere else or to another department, and then we're having to, to say to another set of people. And, the city council, they come and go as well. Luckily now we're going to have the 4 years to work with the city council person in our district. However, how long do we have to keep doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else I'm leaving out that you want to add into the story?
Well, I just want to make sure that, that the city hears that neighborhoods matter, right? and that we don't want just, it's great to have a new sidewalk, absolutely. But we don't want it to be where, it's coming up and down because, they're doing it closer to the street than not. You have the driveways, right? And those go down, there's a dip, and, so we want to prevent that from, people wanting to walk. That's the whole thing of sidewalks. We want people to ride and bike and, be healthy.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you, Teddy.
Sure.
Teddy?
Ted.
Ted.